First weekend for RYA North Zone squad in the Fevers at Beaver Sailing Club. Wow, what a great weekend. We had the wind, we had the sun, and such a perfect weekend with a great group of sailors that myself and Colin are both really looking forward to working with. Here's hoping we can recap on a few of the points from the weekend from the topic of speed, looking both at upwind and downwind sailing. First task of the weekend was using the rigging guide to set up our masts correctly for a light wind setting, a neutral setting and a heavy wind setting. I hope now everyone's used the rigging guide to achieve this and have got their specific numbers for their specific boat. So hopefully we've all now looked at our bridle and made sure we can adjust it and set it up correctly for depending on the conditions, either being light, so generally coming off, or heavy winds coming on more. It's important that with the booms coming into the centre line, and as I say, it's producing the correct leach profile for that sailing conditions. Hopefully you've all now calibrated this on the bottom of the Fever and you have numbers, and we can start using this to work out what our heavy winds and light wind settings are. Max and James here showing us how to sail our Fever upwind as fast as we can. They've got the boat lovely and flat, their weight's forward, and they've got the correct sail settings with their bridle and kicker tension adjusted appropriately. Max is deciding on the correct angle to attack at, either being high mode or low mode. James is calling in the gusts and what's going on around him. Both helm and crew are making sure that they move in sequence and are trying to get as much out of the Fever as possible. I'm sure if we can follow these simple guides, we will make sure all the Fevers in the North Zone squad are at the top of the fleet and going as fast as they can. Much of the weekend was looking at downwind sailing and should we soak or surf or high or low mode. I think we all agreed that soaking was definitely a bit more beneficial in the lighter winds, and the real decision was deciding when to come up and go into that planing or surfing mode or continue on soaking. And this is where many of the races can be won or lost. We both looked at the two positions that you can use and what you should be thinking about when either being soaking or surfing. The next clip is from the Fever Pitch DVD, and it looks at this soaking and surfing mode and really making sure that the crew and helm are communicating with each other and trying to go as downwind as possible. Let's take a look at it and see if we can match our Fever to what the guys at the top of the game are doing.
The boat is perfectly balanced, heeled slightly to windward. Jake calls Elliot up or down depending on what he feels in the kite. Each time he feels extra pressure, they roll the boat to windward and gain a few metres towards the marks. When the sheet goes light, he calls head up to get the kite flying again. All the time he's playing with the sheet, keeping the luff just curling. Occasionally, there's a wave big enough to surf on. They move their weight forward and pump the main to catch the wave. Once the boat's surfing, they could soak a little bit more. Elliot's focus is behind, looking for an opportunity to luff or jibe into a patch of more wind. This is a masterclass in communication.
Bear down a bit as a gust. That's it. Keep going. That's it. Head up. Nice. Hit this wave. Ready? Ready? Forward. That's it. Nice. And again, forward. Heading up so high. Go down. And again, ready? Ready? Hug. That's it. Again.
Occasionally there's a gust big enough to switch to surfing mode. Slide aft and out, tighten the kicker slightly and sail high enough to keep the boat planing. But be sensitive to a drop in the wind. If this happens, switch straight back into soak mode or you'll never get to the leeward mark.
Spread down a bit more.
So all in all, we're pretty good at this soaking method and getting ourselves into this position, which was absolutely fantastic. I've put a couple of videos on and a couple of comments below for you guys to have a look at and have a think about what you're doing in the boat and how we can improve. So just a few videos then on going downwind and soaking downwind on this low mode. If we have missed you this time, we'll make sure you get you on the next videos for a few tips. I have actually uploaded all the videos that myself and Colin took onto the YouTube channel, so if you want to specifically look at something that you've been doing, then take a look at that and feel free to ask us any questions if you wish. So that's it from me from Beaver Sailing Club in the first Zone Squad weekend. Wow, what a brilliant weekend. The next weekend, West Kirby, we're going to be looking at starting. It'd be great if you could read the starting guide handout on RYA Interactive and really look at the techniques that we can use to make sure we get good starts. I will be setting a task before the weekend, but keep an eye on RYA Interactive and the WhatsApp group and have a look at that. Any questions in the meantime, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Make sure you get on the water, get practicing these techniques so we can keep on going, keep on moving fast upwind, fast downwind, but now conquer starting at the next weekend. Thanks very much guys, and I'll see you in a few weeks.